risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our innovative treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe there is nothing that can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 25 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Act now and call to schedule your nerve damage screening. First 25 callers receive this screening for free.
The Panhandle Spirit.
Live from Amarillo, working in the Panhandle Spirit, ABC7 News Daybreak starts now.
Coming up on Daybreak, with the green tree shortage across the high plains, Yellow City is lending a helping hand. Learn how you can get a free tree today. Plus, Amarillo's SPCA shelter is at full capacity, but their messaging was more to do with controlling the pet population in the city. Learn more coming up. And West Texas A&M University's Bad Poetry Contest is just around the corner. Learn how you can participate coming up. Good morning and thank you for joining us. The time now is 5 o'clock. First up on our list is Corbin Vogus, our own meteorologist. Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Johnny. It's going to be a warm day today again. Probably not record-breaking temperatures, but we will see some elevated and critical fire conditions this afternoon.
How about this weekend?
Looks like it's going to be another day of fire weather concerns on Saturday, but the winds finally die down for Sunday, and that's when our next front comes through. So it shouldn't be much. I guess fire weather shouldn't be an issue on Sunday, so good for that. Let's take a step outside. Most temperatures are mild this morning. We're in the 40s and 50s. We've got a lot of cloud cover to deal with this morning. Could even see some virga showers. Again, that's just some of that rain that tries to get to the ground, but the dry air at the surface eats it up before it gets there. So that could help produce some gustier winds throughout the day today. Winds right now, not a problem, less than 15 miles per hour. And here's where we're going to see those fire weather warnings for this afternoon, extending from Deaf Smith County up into the Oklahoma Panhandle and all 4 counties there in eastern New Mexico. That's from 11 until 7 Central Standard Time. For your bus stop forecast, we'll start to see those fire conditions really pick up this afternoon. That's when most of the cloud cover dissipates over the area. And we'll talk about that a little bit more coming up in your full forecast, as well as that cool start to next week. Johnny, back to you.
Thank you, Corbin. Well, the Clovis Police Department yesterday announced the addition of a new crime-fighting tool that will give the general public a better look at what's going on in the city. It's called the Community Crime Map. This map is interactive, so you can click on the various icons to find out details about the crime that has occurred. You can also submit tips to the police department through the map. The idea is to increase access to crime information in order to create greater communication and connections and cooperation between law enforcement and the public. You can check it out at communitycrimemap.com. There's also a link on the Clovis Police Department's webpage. And Amarillo Crime Stoppers is asking for tips leading to the arrest of a man wanted for a parole violation. Rocky Bowers was out on parole for unauthorized use of a vehicle at the time. Bowers is 5 feet 11 inches tall with blue eyes and brown hair, and he weighs around 225 pounds. Anyone with information on his location is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 374-4400. You can submit a tip online at amapolice.org or through the P3 Tips app. An anonymous tip leading to an arrest could earn a reward of up to $300. We have new information this morning on that grass fire in northern Potter County that's been burning since yesterday afternoon. The Texas A&M Forest Service says it's now 80% contained and forward progression has been stopped. It ignited along Highway 287 a few miles from the Moore County line. The wind whipped the fire away from the highway and in the general direction of the Fan gas plant. Workers were evacuated and fire crews were able to steer the fire away from the plant. The Forest Service says that crews on the ground are building fire lines. Firefighting planes are also making several drops during the day that help bring the fire under control. It has burned 1,167 acres. The good news is that it's burning in a remote area of the county and no homes are in immediate danger. We'll bring you the updates as they come in from the Texas A&M Forest Service. And as you may have noticed, green trees are in short supply across the high plains, but the city of Amarillo is looking to help out. The Parks and Recreation Department will be giving away free trees today. ABC7's Morgan Durden has the details.
We have a new office building at 507 South Johnson, and so it's got a nice little warehouse unit attached to it, and so we'll do it just like we did last year. So we just had it where people drove through, we loaded the tree, and then they left.
The Parks and Recreation Department is giving away 4 types of 3 to 5 gallon trees, including hackberry, honey locust, American elm, and Chinese pistache. All of them are native species, and while they might look like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree right now, they will grow into green giants later.
Trees have so many different functions, from just making spaces look nicer, but they also provide fresh oxygen, shade. As trees get bigger, they help people with electric bills, they help with home efficiencies.
The plants, as well as information on how and when to put them in the ground, will be given out Friday starting at 6.
Apache Corporation, they actually partner with us. This is the 2nd year now that we've been awarded this grant, and it's just a part of their program where they want to see reinvestment back into communities, making green spaces greener.
Well, in past years, demand has been huge, with supply running out in about 1 hour. Officials say they expect this year to be the same. And the Amarillo SPCA Pet Shelter has officially reached full capacity. And with the arrival of new litters on the front step each day, they have their work cut out, trying to provide our community's cats and dogs with healthy and safe homes. The Amarillo SPCA is a no-kill shelter with around 40 cats and 75 dogs. Facility manager Deborah Hall says the shelter is overflowing. This is due to the increase in litters caused by unfixed pets.
We keep getting calls on a daily basis from 12 that we open till 5 o'clock in the afternoon about people finding animals loose, finding cats, finding dogs, finding pregnant mamas, dogs, finding pregnant mama cats. So we have really taken in so many that we are just almost, to the top, completely full.
If you would like to adopt, donate food, or provide voluntary help, you can visit their headquarters on South Coulter between McCormick and Sundown Lane. And give us your tired, your poor, your horrible verses. The West Texas A&M University Bad Poetry Contest is set for March 9th. The contest is presented by Brick and Elm Magazine. It will start at 6:30 p.m. this coming Wednesday in Legacy Hall. That's inside the Jack B. Kelly Student Center on the Canyon campus. The event is open to all, and participants should bring 2 or 3 original poems. Reading aloud is not mandatory for the audience. Prizes will be awarded at the end of the competition. And coming up, comedian Larry David's HBO documentary was canceled only 1 day before its release. Find out why when we return. And what's the most you would spend on a vintage Pokemon card? Coming up, find out how much someone paid to make this gaming card the highest priced Pokemon card ever sold.
Panhandle weather can turn on a dime.
That's why the Storm Surge 7 team works together to track the next big weather maker.
Keeping you ahead of the storm all day, every day.
Storm Surge 7 and Weather Alert Day on ABC7 Amarillo.
Ready for a little GMA-ish promo? Okay, here we go. GMA 7A every day with Robin, George, and Michael. That's how you start the day.
Mornings after daybreak.
Here on ABC7.
Boom!
If you're in the market for a great deal on furniture or a plush mattress set and you don't want to wait for weeks or months, we got it. House of Furniture warehouses are stocked full of great furniture and mattresses, ready for immediate pickup or delivery.
When it comes to shopping, we know you have lots of choices.
Bethany and I want to thank you for shopping small businesses like the House of Furniture.
And remember, we will not be undersold.
Hold on, I'm coming. You didn't tell me you were getting McDonald's.
Enjoy a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles or a bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddles and pair it with our bold blend coffee.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the SUV of the future for everyone, Ford Edge. With all-new Sync 4A with a 12-inch touchscreen and available enhanced active park assist. It's built to make life easier because the SUV of the future is built for Texas. Ford Edge. Drive one today. We have new inventory arriving daily, so visit your Texas Ford dealer and get 0 for 66 plus $1,500 bonus cash on Ford Edge.
Ford is the best in Texas.
I'm Mitchell Spector, owner of Woodbridge Home Solutions, and I've got great news. The wait for your new windows is over. Why Woodbridge Windows? Our windows are locally made, right here in Texas by Texans. And every window is upgraded to triple pane glass, free of charge. That means beautiful noise-reducing, energy-saving windows all year long. And that, my friends, is why Woodbridge.
Right now, buy one window, get one 40% off. Call or visit Woodbridge Home Solutions today.
Wildfires in the Panhandle, drought conditions increasing the danger.
They can spark up suddenly, putting lives and properties at risk.
Now, 2022 is shaping up to be an especially active season.
The Storm Surge 7 team is here to keep you informed and safe.
We have a heavy field load this year. To be honest with you, it's kind of scary as dry as it is, and it could happen anywhere right now.
Watch Firestorm 2022, March 5th at 6:30 on ABC7 Amarillo.
Brought to you by Matt Mole's Allstate Agency.
The time is now 5:09, and our big story today is that trading Pokemon cards is one thing, but shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars. Can you imagine?
Not for a Pokemon card, absolutely not,
no,
Johnny.
what do you do with it? Hang it
I
on
guess
the wall?
you keep it and you've got bragging rights.
Okay, well, that's on a whole nother level. The near mint condition vintage gaming card was sold for $900,000. The Pocket Monsters Japanese promo illustrator holographic Pikachu card was created in 1998 and was only released in Japan. Well, there were more than 30 other offers, but an unknown bidder won out in the end, shattering the former record and making it the highest priced Pokemon card ever sold.
I'm glad someone can afford $900,000 to spend on a Pokemon card.
Yeah, I just can't imagine.
Well, Larry David has curbed his enthusiasm for a new documentary about his life. HBO announced that it's pulled the two-part documentary, The Larry David Story, hours before it was set to premiere. You know why?
I'm a big Larry David fan.
You know why they pulled it?
No.
Well, it came at David's request. The film features a conversation between fellow comedian Larry Charles, where they discuss comedy, fame, and David's life. HBO tweeted, David has decided that he wants to, quote, do it in front of an audience. It's unclear if that means he's going to scrap everything and reshoot the entire conversation or just parts of it. A timeline for when the finished product might actually be released is still unknown.
I look forward to seeing that. If it's HBO or whatever channel, I really want to watch that. Well, Sweet Caroline, that's a sweet deal. Yeah, it's a popular song. Neil Diamond just sold his prolific song catalog to Universal for what's assumed to be hundreds of millions of dollars. Is that a good idea?
I mean, he's selling it, he's making the money, so I guess it's his decision.
It's a lot of money.
Sounds like a good idea.
Well, the 81-year-old Grammy winner retired from touring in 2018 after he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Now Universal takes over his entire catalog and his master recordings, including 110 unreleased tracks and an unreleased album. He says he knows Universal will represent his work with the same passion and integrity that filled his career. Financial details of the deal have not been released, but let's put it this way. Other artists who have sold their catalogs in recent years have made millions of dollars. Well, still ahead, hearing loss can affect not only your life, but also the ones you love. Learn how to catch it early in the latest Health Minute.
And we have a handful of counties that will go under a fire weather warning today at 11 a.m. and last until 7 p.m. A few more than we had yesterday, but the widespread fire conditions are going to happen tomorrow. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
Do you have questions about Medicare or just don't understand your latest doctor bill? Buxton Insurance is here to answer all your questions and concerns. Cherie Buxton, longtime Amarillo resident, has been helping you since 2012 and continues to provide you with step-by-step education on Medicare. Not only do we simplify your Medicare coverage, we uphold your best interest. Our goal is to help you become an educated consumer so you can make the best decisions.
March 5th and 6th, it's the 37th Annual Make-A-Wish Car Show, presented by the Panhandle Council of Car Clubs. Bring the family to see over 300 show cars, street rods, classics, sports cars, muscle cars, motorcycles, and tractors. Many one-of-a-kind cars you can't see anywhere else. Admission is only $7 for adults, $5 for children, and kids under 7 are free. Enter the model car contest till 1 p.m. Saturday. It's the best entertainment value around. Don't miss the 37th Annual Make-A-Wish Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, March 5th and 6th at the Amarillo Civic Center.
Okay, now, I love me some GMA so much. Time for me to do, well, a little GMA-ish promo. Ready? GMA 7A every day. Boom, boom, boom.
Bring your
friends. Yes, now we're talking. That's how you start the day with Robin, George, Michael, and GMA. So go on, just say,
Good morning, America. Mornings after daybreak.
Here on ABC7.
Yes, on ABC7.
Bring your friends.
You've leveled up.
What makes you proud, Dad? I know.
Remember what Dad says. No matter how fast you run, life's about the journey.
The Flash returns with a new episode on a new night, Wednesday, March 9th, only on the CW.
Our time is now 5:15. Well, hearing loss can take a toll on physical and mental health, but also on your relationships with others. Experts say that catching hearing loss early is key to preventing more damage. Mandy Gaither has more on the signs to look out for in today's Health Minute.
Millions of Americans are struggling with noise-induced hearing loss, where the inner ear is damaged by loud sound. It may be irreversible, but highly preventable.
A lot of people might think that losing your hearing is normal or a part of the aging process, and that's not necessarily true.
Audiologist Marquita Murkison says early signs of hearing loss include pain or discomfort in the ear, experiencing ringing or other noises. If people seem to be mumbling or you're having trouble listening in noisy situations or when more than one person is talking, those are all clues to get your hearing tested.
With hearing, you never want to wait to see if it gets better. You want to act as soon as you notice a difference.
Murkison says early detection is key to stop additional hearing loss. If there's a medical cause, it can also be treated. You can also be fitted for a hearing protection device or hearing aid. Since ear damage can happen at any age, there are things you can do right now to protect your hearing for a lifetime.
It's limiting your exposure to loud noise by wearing hearing protection, limiting the amount of time you spend in dangerous noise levels, and working in breaks for your ears so you're not exposed to loud noise levels for a dangerous amount of time.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And now, your Storm Surge 7 forecast with meteorologist Corbin Vogus.
Good TGI Friday morning, everyone. We're taking a look at our sky cam in Bushland. Got a few high clouds that are continuing to stream through the area. You can kind of see that reflection of the lights there underneath that cloud deck from Amarillo. That's what's keeping us so warm this morning. We also have some low-level moisture being pumped into the Panhandles region as well. So that's also another contributing factor as to why we are only in the 50s and 40s for our overnight lows. We'll have the winds pick up this afternoon. They're currently light out of the south-southwest between 0 and 15 miles per hour. Here's where we're going to see critical fire conditions this afternoon from Texas County all the way down towards Roosevelt County, towards Portales and Elida. That's where the fire weather warnings will go into effect at 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. This is mainly due to stronger winds today. Again, the relative humidity is going to be fairly high, anywhere from 14 to 25% this afternoon, but winds gusting to 45 miles per hour, certainly strong enough that if a fire does get going today, it's going to spread at a quick pace. So again, we'll have elevated fire risks further to the east there for places like Pampa, Canadian, Borger, Amarillo, Tulia, maybe even kind of clipping places like Clarendon, Silverton, possibly as far to the east as Kittiquay and Turkey. So just keep that in mind as well. We could see some virga showers pass through the area as this cloud deck starts to dissipate. That will create some locally gustier winds in some isolated spots, not expecting to see any precipitation make it to the ground. And if it does, it won't be measurable. We'll see the clouds clear this afternoon. That's when the critical fire weather conditions develop across the area. We also could see maybe a brief shower try to develop up along the dry line overnight tonight. Really not expecting any measurable precipitation from that, but it will push out all of that moisture that we filter into the area today and set us up for a very dry and windy day on Saturday. Temperatures will climb into the 60s and 70s, and winds will be out of the west-southwest between 20 and 30 miles per hour, commonly gusting up to 45. So that's why we have a fire weather watch for every single county we cover. That's the entire panhandles, as well as eastern New Mexico. Winds will again be gusting up to 45 quite commonly tomorrow afternoon. Most of it's going to be between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. You'll start to see the winds slack off in the evening hours, but it's still going to be one of those days that you want to try and avoid all activities that could start a fire. Make sure the tow chains are up away from the road so they're not creating any sparks. Keep the cigarette butts inside the vehicle until you get home as well. If you do have an evacuation order for your location, here's a couple of things to maybe prepare yourself so that you can get in and out of your home a little bit quicker. Make sure that that vehicle's backed into the garage or driveway. Have your personal belongings together in one set location, things that you can't necessarily leave without, and then be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Here's your highs for today. Won't be quite as warm as it was yesterday. We've got all the cloud cover this morning, so that's going to slow down how quickly we can warm up until we get into the afternoon hours. Most of us will get into the high 70s. Might see a couple of locations touch 80 degrees for an hour or two. Lows for tonight tumble into the 40s and 50s. Again, colder temperatures where we've got drier air in place back over eastern New Mexico. Some of them could dip into the upper 30s. And then we'll have afternoon highs tomorrow climbing into the 60s and the 70s. For your 7-day tracker, we have our next front coming through Sunday night. This will bring us a very brief window that maybe a few in the Oklahoma Panhandle and far eastern Texas Panhandle could see a couple of rain snow showers move through the area. Won't likely provide any measurable precipitation for us in Amarillo, but it is possible we might see a flurry briefly on Monday morning. And also, just a quick reminder, tomorrow night, 6:30, we have our fire weather special, Firestorm 2022, airing. So make sure that you tune in for that. Johnny, back to you.
Well, thank you, Corbin. Now on Daybreak, the latest in the business news in Texas. Jane King is in New York with our morning business report.
Good morning. JP Morgan expects Russia's economy to experience a severe contraction thanks to sanctions and the economic fallout from the attack on Ukraine. The economy, they believe, will shrink at 35% in this quarter. JP Morgan expects exports to decline about 13% this year, which could be overly optimistic due to the unofficial self-sanctioning that has hit the market for Russian oil, while oil companies have chosen not to buy Russian oil. Well, Purdue Pharma and its owners, the billionaire Sackler family, will pay $6 billion to several states to settle a lawsuit brought by the opioid crisis. Court papers say the money will be used to fund treatment centers and helping those addicted to opioids. Stocks closed lower across the board yesterday as oil prices remained elevated and the Russia-Ukraine conflict escalated. The Nasdaq had the biggest losses at more than 200 points. Spirit Airlines plans to open crew bases in Miami and Atlanta. Spirit has been studying ways to improve its staffing after crew shortages contributed to more than 2,000 canceled flights last summer. Spirit and fellow U.S. budget airline Frontier last month announced an agreement to merge. And there's been a dramatic increase in interest in Ukrainian flags and other merchandise. And in fact, yesterday, a 3-by-5-foot polyester Ukrainian flag was the bestseller in the patio, lawn, and garden section on Amazon. Ukrainian apparel has also been selling well. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King with your morning business report.
When you open a jar of Better Than Bouillon, you open up dinner time to great flavor. Chicken, beef, seasoned vegetable, roasted garlic. With Better Than Bouillon, the possibilities are endless. Make your everything better with Better Than Bouillon. Don't just make it better.
My skin, but better. Everyone wants it. This does it.
True Match Nude Tinted Serum. 1% hyaluronic acid in a foundation.
Feels like second skin. Naturally radiant.
True Match Tinted Serum from L'Oreal Paris.
We're worth it.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Joe Puma. Stay with Storm Surge 7.
Lose 10 years in 10 minutes. It's that easy to look younger. Ask Dr. Elaine. Advanced Skin Treatment. Skintreatment.com. On Hillside, between Coulter and Swansea.
Straight by and right.
Ooh, that's a tough one, babe. That one is rhinoceros. But don't worry, it'll be okay, though.
Actually, Mom, it's not okay. If I'm not on the proper reading level by 3rd grade, then it's highly unlikely that I'm going to graduate high school, much less attend college and become a quantum physicist.
Our children know what they need.
I'll go start the car.
All we have to do is listen. Please visit Amarillo Area Foundation for more information on our education initiative.
Mayfield Roofing, the rapid repair team unlike any other. Does your roof need to be replaced? That's a good question. Many times full replacement is not needed. At Mayfield Roofing, we will give you our honest opinion. That's why so many people in the Amarillo area trust us with their homes. Find the right service for you on our website. Affordable, integrity, and consistency, that's the Mayfield guarantee. Call our rapid response team today for all of your roofing needs.
Getting off the dieting merry-go-round.
You have to be ready in your head for this. It's not easy.
But not all health experts are the same. In our next Keeping You Healthy, the difference between a nutritionist and a dietitian. Wednesday morning at 6 on ABC7 Daybreak.
It's divinely inspired.
I'm freaking out.
The most fascinating daytime viewing around.
The Drew Barrymore Show.
Look natural, stay beautiful. Enjoy the skin you've always wanted and deserve. Ask Dr. Elaine. Advanced Skin Treatment. Skintreatment.com. On Hillside between Coulter and Swansea.
Our time is now 5:25. Well, get ready to spend a full day unplugging from technology. National Day of Unplugging runs from sundown to sundown, from today to tomorrow. And here's the idea. You unplug from your smartphones, your TVs, and other screens and make some space for other things. Read a book or a newspaper if you still have that. Have a conversation uninterrupted by technology. You can go for a hike or clean out your closets. It's all up to you. It might feel strange to leave your phone at home, but give it a try. And today's top entertainment stories range from a big screen blockbuster debuting today to a movie that debuted 100 years ago today. David Daniel spans the century in our Hollywood Minute.
Who's the mustache with the broken nose?
The Batman stars Rob Pattinson and Jeffrey Wright remind director Matt Reeves of another big screen duo.
The way that Rob and Jeffrey play off of each other is great. I mean, they are truly, to me, they were like Woodward and Bernstein. It was like we were doing kind of an All the President's Men kind of conspiracy, and they were sitting there trying to put the pieces together.
The Batman is now in theaters. It's the 100th anniversary of the classic vampire movie Nosferatu. The silent film entered the public domain in 2019. You can sink your teeth into it on multiple streaming services, including for free on YouTube.
Why would I want to have a regular job when I can do this?
John Cameron Mitchell channels Joe Exotic in Joe vs. Carol, the dramatized limited series about the scandalous battle of big cat lovers.
I'm not an impersonator, but I enjoy mimicking. I moved around a lot as a kid. I had to change my accent a lot. As Joe did, he actually has different personas for different settings.
Joe vs. Carol is now playing on Peacock. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Doug.
And it's easy to customize your insurance at libertymutual.com, so you only pay for what you need. Isn't that right, Limu? 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 Sorry, one sec. Yeah. There he is.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
People everywhere living with type 2 diabetes are waking up to what's possible with Rybelsus. The majority of people taking Rybelsus lowered their blood sugar and reached an A1C of less than 7. Rybelsus isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't take Rybelsus if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Rybelsus and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Rybelsus with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems. Wake up to the possibility of lower A1C with Rybelsus. You may pay as little as $10 for up to a 3-month prescription. Ask your healthcare provider about Rybelsus today.
Why would Stanton Optical choose a spokesbird? They're not your typical eye care company. I'm not your typical penguin. We're a team. There's no I in eye care. Wait.
Get 2 pairs of glasses plus a free eye exam, anti-glare lenses, and same-day service for only $79.
I'm Mitchell Spector, owner of Woodbridge Home Solutions. And I've got great news. The wait for your new windows is over. Why Woodbridge Windows? Our windows are locally made, right here in Texas, by Texans. And every window is upgraded to triple pane glass, free of charge. That means beautiful, noise-reducing, energy-saving windows all year long. And that, my friends, is why Woodbridge.
Right now, buy one window, get 140% off. Call or visit Woodbridge Home Solutions today.
Why would Stanton Optical choose a spokesbird? They're not your typical eye care company. I'm not your typical penguin. We're a team. There's no I in eye care. Wait.
Get 2 pairs of glasses plus a free eye exam, anti-glare lenses, and same-day service for only $79.
ABC7 News Daybreak continues.
Coming up on Daybreak, learn the latest on the story of an Indiana school teacher that hit a student. Plus, with COVID cases continuing to drop, there's now little to no demand for a vaccine. Learn what states are doing what with the stockpiles of doses. And Ukrainian President Zelensky issued an alarming warning about a possible nuclear disaster. Learn the latest coming up next. Once again, good morning and thank you for joining us. The time is now 5:30. First on our list is Corbin Vogus, our own meteorologist, with today's update. Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Johnny. It's going to be a very warm start to our day. We had a lot of clouds come in last night, and so that's kept our temperatures in the 50s for the most part. It's 53 here in Amarillo. Probably won't see that temperature deviate much from that for the rest of the morning before we begin warming up this afternoon. So going to be able to do without the jacket this morning. We'll have temperatures climbing up into the 70s this afternoon. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Winds are very light right now. That is a different story, though, once we see the clouds clear this afternoon. And we have our next low-level jet pass over the high plains, and we'll see those winds start to pick up, and that's really going to be the main reason why we have critical fire conditions this afternoon in some locations. Now, most of this critical fire threat is going to be in that northwest third of our viewing area that extends from Roosevelt County all the way up towards Texas County for Guyman, Oklahoma. That's where, again, if a fire does get going, conditions would allow it to spread at a very quick pace, so just keep that in mind. We'll climb to about 75 degrees this afternoon. Clouds are expected to clear after lunchtime, and that's when we'll end up seeing those winds pick up as well. So here's what we're going to cover in your full forecast. Fire weather warnings for today. We actually have some fire weather watches tomorrow for every single county. That looks like it's going to be the biggest day. That's also our weather alert day and the same day that our fire weather special airs tomorrow night at 6:30. So hopefully you can tune in for that, and we'll take a look at your full forecast in 15 minutes. Johnny, back to you.
Thank you, Corbin. Well, many states are left with stockpiles of vaccine doses as demand collapses. They're scrambling to use up the vaccines before they expire. Millions have gone to waste. States are finding ways to shuffle doses in hopes of finding providers that can use them. About 76% of the U.S. population has received at least one shot. About 65% are now fully vaccinated. The average number of Americans getting their first shot is down to about 70,000 a day. This is the lowest point since the vaccination campaign began in December of 2020. And it's a moment that's gone viral. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis angrily telling a group of Tampa Bay area students to take off their masks. Mary O'Connell talked to people who were there.
As Governor Ron DeSantis got settled for a press conference at USF Wednesday, this happened.
You do not have to wear those masks. I mean, please take them off. Honestly, it's not doing anything, and we got to stop with this COVID theater. So if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous.
The governor heard speaking to a group of Middleton High students who were asked to be part of the press conference. Eric Marshall was one of those students, right behind the governor.
I was perfectly fine with taking it off. I felt like, yes, he was a bit of an abrupt ask, but he asked, and I was fine with it, so I just took it off.
The governor's office told us in a statement, quote, the governor told the students you can wear them if you want, but there's no evidence masks make a difference. Going on to say, quote, the governor wants to make sure everyone is aware of the facts and data now so they can feel free and comfortable without a mask. Right now, the CDC's COVID community level indicates Hillsborough County as high. The CDC says masks can help protect you and others from COVID-19, explaining that layered prevention strategies like staying up to date on vaccines and wearing masks can help prevent severe illness and reduce the potential for strain on the healthcare system.
I don't think it was right for him to demand that from them.
I also spoke to Alex Brightman, Middleton High's cybersecurity computer science instructor. He tells me he was with the students at the press conference, and 4 are his current students. Initially, Brightman tells me he didn't hear the comments, but he saw the video later.
If they believe in wearing their mask because they're being told by their parents, they're going to stick with that, and they should be able to wear it no matter where they are and where they go.
Hillsborough County Superintendent Addison Davis sent us a statement that read in part, quote, it is a student and parent's choice to protect their health in a way they feel most appropriate. We are proud of the manner in which our students represented themselves and our school district. Now, more than 24 hours later, students in the middle of that viral moment tell me they're ready to move on.
Just in my eyes, it was just an ask, and it wasn't nothing that big.
In Tampa, Mary O'Connell, ABC Action News.
Well, a teacher seen on video hitting a student was arrested on Thursday. 61-year-old Michael Hosinski asked for early retirement last Friday. The same day, video shows him hitting a student in the face. It happened in the hallway of Jimtown High School in Elkhart County, Indiana. The force of the blow knocked the student's head into the wall. The school board unanimously granted Hosinski's early retirement to become effective immediately, but now police have arrested him following an investigation. They're asking prosecutors to file a felony battery charge in the case. And there's no indication the Kremlin is going to halt its invasion of Ukraine. Russia President Vladimir Putin told French President Emmanuel Macron military action will continue in his neighboring country. Sources say Putin was the one who initiated the call between the two leaders. Macron reportedly urged Putin to try a diplomatic course, but according to the source, Putin said he is only willing to have negotiations if Ukraine is neutralized and disarmed. Macron said that it is not impossible and told Putin he is making a mistake. Both leaders agreed to keep the lines of communication open. Well, developing overnight, Ukrainian President Zelensky issued a dire warning about a possible nuclear disaster. This warning came after Russian forces targeted Europe's largest nuclear plant and sparking a fire. That fire is now out, but it now raises concerns for nuclear plants in Ukraine. ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
This morning, Ukrainian officials now saying Europe's largest nuclear plant is under control of Russian forces. They say the fire that erupted earlier is now extinguished and fighting near the plant has stopped. The White House and the International Atomic Energy Agency saying there has been no change in radiation levels at the facility yet, but Ukrainian President Zelensky is not taking any chances, pleading for the West to intervene. Saying if there is an explosion, that's the end for everyone, the end for Europe. This as Russian troops take their first major city of Kherson, while closing in on at least 4 others, including the capital, Kyiv, where U.S. officials say a Russian convoy is resupplying nearby. Russian troops increasingly targeting civilian areas. According to Ukrainian officials, 33 people were killed, 18 others injured in a series of explosions in a city just north of Kyiv. Just west of there, drone footage showing destroyed houses and buildings, smoke rising from from residential areas. President Putin claiming his invasion is going according to plan, despite Ukrainians standing defiant, holding off most attacks for over a week. On Thursday, Putin spent 90 minutes on the phone with French President Macron. A source in the French government then saying the fear is the worst is yet to come. The latest talks between Ukraine and Russia have led to both sides agreeing to temporary ceasefires and to allow for civilians to leave besieged cities. Already, over 1 million refugees have fled Ukraine.
A senior U.S. official tells ABC News the Kremlin has already selected a puppet regime to take over Ukraine's government. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Well, thank you for joining us. The time is now 5:38. We still have much more to come on the show. Here is your morning menu. A major battle was won yesterday for victims of sexual abuse in the workplace. President Biden signed a bill into law that takes power away from the abusers. And with Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the average price for gas is now $3.72 a gallon. Find out what price we could be paying in just a few weeks. And we made it to Friday. Corbin is here with your weekend forecast, so stay with us.
Next wheel. The clue is words, words, words. And one of those words has our players stumped. No. 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 Can you figure it out before they can?
Tonight at 6:30 on ABC7.
Based on the Oscar-winning film, An Officer and a Gentleman includes the best-loved hits of the 80s. Zach Mayo thinks he can do it alone with nothing but talent and drive. Until he meets the drill instructor who teaches him to put ship and shipmate before self. And Paula, a woman whose own destiny may save his life. This new musical lifts us up where we belong.
March 15th through 16th at the Civic Center Complex Auditorium. For tickets, visit panhandletickets.com now.
Okay, so you've seen some cracks in your drywall or brick, and you think you might have a foundation problem, but you're putting it off because you think it's going to cost a ton of money to fix? How does $79 a month sound? Yep, just $79 a month. Just call Childress Brothers Leveling. We'll do a thorough inspection of your home and foundation, recommend the right fix, and do it all for as little as $79 a month. Give us a call now.
Integrity, honesty, unbeatable quality. Childress Brothers Foundation Repair.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the SUV of the future for everyone, Ford Edge. With all-new Sync 4A with a 12-inch touchscreen and available enhanced active park assist, it's built to make life easier because the SUV of the future is built for Texas. Ford Edge. Drive one today. We have new inventory arriving daily, so visit your Texas Ford dealer and get 0 for 66 plus $1,500 bonus cash on Ford Edge.
Ford is the best in Texas.
And Doug.
We gotta tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. And we gotta do it fast.
Woo! 34 miles per hour! New personal record, Limu!
He'll be back. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. We hot, we hot, we hot.
There is snow inside of my boxer briefs.
This morning at 9 on ABC7.
Our time is now 5:41. Well, former Fox News host Gretchen Carlson was at the White House yesterday for the signing of a new law. The new bill gives victims of sexual abuse and harassment the power to fight their case in court.
Today, I'm here on behalf of the millions of American workers who up until today have been voiceless, silenced for simply having the courage to come forward to say something bad happened at work. And in return, they got shunted into the secret chamber of arbitration.
Well, Carlson famously left Fox News over sexual harassment allegations against former CEO Roger Ailes. Ailes was later fired from the network after 10 more women came forward. The new law bars employment contracts from forcing people to settle sexual assault or harassment cases through arbitration instead of court. President Biden says it prevents companies from protecting the perpetrators of sexual abuse and harassment.
Forced arbitration shielded perpetrators, silenced survivors, enabled employers to sweep episodes of sexual assault and harassment under the rug, and it kept survivors from knowing if others have experienced the same thing.
The new law applies retroactively, nullifying the language in contracts across the country. We turn now to a California mother under arrest accused of making up a story about being kidnapped. Police say it was all part of a plot to go live with her ex-boyfriend. ABC's Andrea Fuji has the story.
This morning, stunning allegations that the California mom who claimed she was abducted 6 years ago made it all up. Sherry Papini, now in custody and facing charges of lying to police. The complaints alleging this was a false narrative Papini fabricated. In truth, Papini was staying with a former boyfriend and harmed herself to support her false statements. There was a frantic search for Papini in Northern California after she went for a run in November of 2016 and never came home. Her husband, desperate to find his wife and mother to their 2 young children.
I'm getting very angry and frustrated, and I'm scared for my wife.
A few weeks later, Papini was found by a truck driver who saw her on a freeway with chains and bindings around her body.
She's advising she is heavily battered, and it is confirmed kidnapping.
Papini claimed 2 Hispanic women abducted her at gunpoint, beat her, and threatened to sell her to a man while keeping her in a closet. But she managed to escape. Her husband recounting the trauma he believed she went through.
She literally lived through hell. The things she told me that she did, acting like she was tucking in her kids.
But authorities now revealing in a criminal complaint that DNA evidence recovered from Papini's clothing she was wearing when she returned match her ex-boyfriend's DNA. And he admitted to investigators that he helped Papini run away. They say the ex-boyfriend also said Sherry Papini created the injuries while staying with him, including hitting herself to create bruises and burning herself on her arms. Authorities say Papini, who also collected $30,000 from a victim assistance fund, continues to stand by her story. If convicted on the charges in this case, she faces up to 25 years in prison. Andrea Fuji, ABC News.
Well, we have more fallout from the Russian invasion of Ukraine. According to AAA, the average price of gas in the U.S. is now $3.72 a gallon. In California, it's $4.94. Here in Texas, it's at $3.37. Amarillo's average prices are the lowest in the state. According to AAA, at $3.24, that's an 18-cent increase in just 1 week. In an average year, gas prices rise between 25 cents and 75 cents per gallon from March until Memorial Day. Analysts say a $4 average is likely over the next few weeks. And the other side, the Ukraine conflict is helping push mortgage rates lower, at least for now. According to Freddie Mac, the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage averaged 3.76% in the week ending March 3rd. It's the second week in a row that rates have fallen after weeks of increases. The rates dropped as a result of receding U.S. Treasury yields as investors moved to the safety of bonds due to the Russian invading Ukraine. Freddie Mac says rates will likely increase again in the coming months.
And now, your Storm Surge 7 forecast with meteorologist Corbin Vogus.
Good Friday morning, everyone. It's a mild start to our day. We've got a lot of cloud cover over the area, so temperatures have only fallen into the 40s and 50s. Really won't change a whole lot as we continue to see that sun get closer to the horizon either. 53 is where we're at here in Amarillo. You can probably be okay without the jacket this morning as you step outside. Winds are out of the southwest between 5 and 15 miles per hour. They become a lot stronger this afternoon. Our next low-level jet gets close to the high plains, so winds are going to be a lot stronger further to the west that you go. That's where those fire weather warnings will go into effect at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and last until 7 p.m. this evening. Wind's going to be our contributing factor as to why we have that high fire threat. They could gust up to 45 miles per hour quite commonly, as those relative humidity values will be a little higher than they were yesterday, between 14 and 25%. Now, the clouds are going to clear around lunchtime, so again, it's going to be a cloudy start. You could see some virga showers early this morning and into the afternoon hours. Those do dissipate, and the clouds will clear out of the area by 4 and 5 o'clock, and everyone's under full sunshine by the time you get off for the weekend. Our winds will be a lot stronger, though. They'll be sustained between 15 and 25 this afternoon. We'll see a few clouds pass through the area overnight tonight. Some models say that a passing shower is possible on Friday night to Saturday morning. Really not hopeful on that as we have that dry line race out of the area very quickly with that Pacific front. That's going to bring in a lot of dry air to the whole area, and the winds are going to be a lot stronger almost directly out of the west around lunchtime tomorrow. So that's why we'll have that high fire threat on Saturday as well, and that's why we also have that fire weather watch watch for every single county that we cover here in the Panhandles also. Let's take a look at that real quick. Again, that's from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. as well. Humidity value is going to be a lot lower tomorrow than they will be today. Winds will be right around the same, anywhere from 15 to 25 sustained, maybe sustained close to 30 in some spots, gusting up to 45 at times. Now, the strongest winds will be coming through between 8 a.m. and 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So it's kind of in that first half of the day. Once we get into the evening hours, we'll start to see winds slack off or subside, and the strongest winds will actually be off to our east. Versus over the top of the area. But we still could see some blowing dust. Going to see critical fire conditions for everyone on Saturday. Make sure that you are practicing all your fire prevention tactics. Make sure that you're not driving on tall grasses or parking on that. Avoid all activities that could start a fire, and make sure that those chains that you are dragging behind you on the vehicle, if you're towing something, aren't, again, dragging the ground, and make sure that you discarded those cigarettes butts properly. Another thing, again, if evacuations do have to be put in place for some locations because of a fire, here's some things that could help you get out the door a bit quicker. Make sure that you back that vehicle into the garage. Pre-arrange for some temporary housing with a family or close friend, and have some personal belongings all in one set location. Those things that you need to take with you and you can't live without, make sure that those are all in that one spot so that you can grab them and get out of there. And then make sure that you're ready to leave at a moment's notice. Here's your highs for today. Lots of mid-70s with the cloud cover in the area. The first half of the day, it's going to slow how warm we get to, and then we'll have lows tonight into the 30s, 40s, and 50s as that dry air continues to stream into the region from New Mexico, and then starts to swallow the entire panhandles over the course of the day on Saturday. Highs tomorrow afternoon will climb into the 60s and 70s, so not quite as warm as we'll be today, nor as warm as we were yesterday, but still a very mild afternoon for us, even compared to our normal high temperature of 61 degrees. It is a weather alert day tomorrow, so that's, again, one of those days that we'll have to watch out for high fire potential. Our next front comes through Sunday evening. That is going to help keep us on the colder side. 61 right now is what we're thinking the high temperature will be. That may come down as we get closer. The winds out of the east between 10 and 20, and then we have that very brief window that night where we could see some rain snow mix in some northeast counties towards places like Perryton and Canadian. Really not looking hopeful for us in Amarillo. Probably will stay dry, but we've got a more potent front coming through at the end of next week, which we'll talk about as we start next week on Monday. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Get ready to feel the power. Budweiser presents Kicker Monster Truck Show. Monster Truck action returns to the Amarillo National Center this Friday and Saturday. Tickets on sale now. 3 big shows, plus tough truck racing and freestyle motocross. Come early for the pit party and take a ride on a real monster truck. Tickets at tristatefair.com or at the door.
Your life, your hopes, your passions. These things are none of our business. Your deodorant rash, your favorite cheese, and whatever you were searching for at 1:15 a.m., that's really none of our business. Because your life is private, and unlike other tech companies, we think your internet should be too. Oh, what kind of talk is that? That's none of our business either. Protect your privacy online for free with DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
I'm Mitchell Spector, owner of Woodbridge Home Solutions, and I've got great news. The wait for your new windows is over. Why Woodbridge Windows? Our windows are locally made, right here in Texas, by Texans. And every window is upgraded to triple pane glass, free of charge. That means beautiful, noise-reducing, energy-saving windows all year long. And that, my friends, is why Woodbridge.
Right now, buy one window, get 140% off. Call or visit Woodbridge Home Solutions today.
Right now is the best time to buy the hottest luxury brand in the market. At Gene Messer Lincoln, you can choose any 2022 Aviator, 2022 Navigator, or 2022 Nautilus and receive the best service in West Texas. We go above and beyond to make sure all your needs are met and your expectations are exceeded. Gene Messer Lincoln, Soncy just south of I-40. Or shop online now. Visit GeneMesserLincoln.com.
Join us every Sunday at 10 a.m. for our New Life Ministries service only on CW11. Loving people back to life.
This is the story of Elizabeth Holmes.
And you got intrigued to see fantasy. You can't peel your eyes away.
Now, as Elizabeth Holmes awaits sentencing, what you haven't heard.
I was blown away.
The new 2020 tonight on ABC.
The time is now 5:52. Well, get ready to spend a full day unplugging from technology. National Day of Unplugging runs from sundown to sundown, today to tomorrow. Here's the idea. You unplug your smartphones, your TVs, and other screens and make some space for other things, like reading a newspaper or remember those, or you can have a book. Have a conversation uninterrupted by technology. Go for a hike, clean out your closets. It's all up to you. It might feel strange to leave your phone at home, but you must give it a try. And a Wheel of Fortune puzzle had contestants scratching their heads, or were they scratching their caps? CNN's Gene Moose unravels the brain teaser.
The feathers flew on Wheel of Fortune, but where did they end up? Another feather in your what?
Another feather in your hat.
Feather in your hat was close, but things went downhill from there.
Another feather in your lap.
The other contestants weren't acing the puzzle either, and even when a P capped off the phrase, Laura Machado, a high school dean of students, blew it.
Another feather in your map?
A feather in your hat, your lap, your map? The most painful 2 minutes of Wheel of Fortune I've ever seen, tweeted one viewer. God help us all, commented actor Josh Gad, who voiced Olaf the Snowman in Frozen.
I've been impaled.
Previous Wheel of Fortune contestants have impaled themselves, deciphering Jolly Good Fellow as Jolly Goof Fellow. But this was a whole new level. Read one headline, Wheel of Fortune contestants spend 2 minutes reminding us America is in decline. Finally, the decline halted.
Another feather in your cap.
Yeah, there you go.
But give the show's host a feather in his cap for coming to the defense of his contestant. Pat Sajak pointed out Laura's first answer, feather in your hat, is how a lot of people say it. And if the feather isn't in your hat, where the heck can it be? It's true, even the old nursery rhyme is sometimes sung.
Stuck a feather in his hat.
This is one feather that sure tickled the internet. Gene Moose, CNN.
In your hat, lap, map?
New York.
Well, people across the globe are looking for any way possible to help support the people of Ukraine as Russian troops invade further into the country. In Connecticut, a beverage company has created a new flavor in support, calling it Putin Punch. Some proceeds are going to the Ukrainian Red Cross, and it's selling so fast they can't keep up. Marcy Jones has more.
The first batch of Avery's Putin Punch soda sold out in less than 2 hours, and it's not hard to see why.
I actually have a lot of friends that are Ukrainian, so I'm backing them 100%.
But it's such a disgrace that all these poor people are being killed because this guy's ego.
Thankfully, they're able to produce more soda to support more Ukrainians in need.
I love what they're doing with the money. I also love the idea that they're trying to do it by being clever, trying to stick it to the man a little bit.
Owner Rob Metz says after feeling helpless watching the coverage of events overseas, they decided to take action.
Trying to figure out, what can we do, to help out. So we decided to come up with a soda label to support Ukraine, and then somebody threw out Putin Punch, and then it just rolled from there.
After making an initial donation of $500, Avery's will send proceeds from every sale to benefit the people of Ukraine.
Avery's is known for their clever, tongue-in-cheek advertising, but with proceeds going to the Ukrainian Red Cross, Putin Punch hits differently.
And at the center of this small business is a big heart.
Of course, we just hope the situation ends quickly. Of course, praying for the families out there in Ukraine. Hopefully they'll, the situation just gets settled down soon.
Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, our time is now 5:57, and today is being called Batman Day, and the Lakers dynasty debuts on Sunday. For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Happy Batman Day. The Batman, finally in theaters, with fans excited to see the latest spin on the Caped Crusader, starring Robert Pattinson, directed by Matt Reeves. Jeffrey Wright plays Lieutenant Gordon, telling me this film goes back deep in the comics to celebrate Batman.
Yes, as superhero, yes, as, dynamic crime fighter, but primarily as world's greatest detective.
The Batman is only in theaters now. Debuting Sunday, it's the highly anticipated series Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. John C. Reilly plays Dr. Jerry Buss, the real estate mogul who bought the NBA team in the late 1970s and transformed it into a championship team.
It's an incredible American story of success, of coming from humble beginnings and ending up like the king of L.A.
Winning Time debuts Sunday on HBO. The first round of Oscar presenters named Oscar winners Kevin Costner, Ya Jung-yoon among them, as well as Chris Rock and the Batman Zoe Kravitz. Also, Lady Gaga, who many thought would get a nomination for House of Gucci, but she didn't. And happy birthday to Emmy-winning actress Catherine O'Hara. She's 68 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
I'm Corbin Vogus. Get morning ready with your Storm Surge 7 forecast.
I'm your cat. And ever since you brought me home that day, I've been plotting to destroy you. This is a billion years of tiger DNA just ready to pounce. And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, you could be coughing up the cash for this. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like meow.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get a local Allstate agent. Call Matt Moles, serving the Texas Panhandle for over 18 years.
Live from Amarillo, working in the Panhandle spirit,